Brace yourself, sports and music fans, because every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Arizona time is GO time. Introducing one of the hottest, most entertaining, and downright addictive podcasts you'll ever need. PD&J was good today. Hosted by none other than J-Dub the King and Pocket. These two dynamic personalities will keep you on the edge of your seat with their unique blend of humor, storytelling, and knowledge of sports and entertainment. And you know what makes it even better? They're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can join the conversation and be a part of the action. We're always on the lookout for awesome guests to join us on the show. So if you think you've got what it takes to hang out with J-Dub the King and Pocket, then slide into our inbox at J-Dub the King. That's JDUBBTHAKING. And let's make some magic together. So what are you waiting for? You don't want to miss a single episode. See you on Wednesday.
What it do, folks? What it do? Guess what it is? What day it is? Anybody got anybody can anybody?
So if you're gonna do this correctly, then we just gonna do it like this. Everybody know what day it is. It's Wednesday. It's a brand new week, brand new episode. PD&J was good today. I'm your host.
I'm sorry, I was having my Biden moment there. I was having my Biden moment, man. Give me a break.
Was it really a Biden moment or was it a McConnell moment? But anyway. What it do, folks? What's good? How's everybody? How's everybody's week going?
Yes. We here. We're live. A little bit different this week. We still decided we needed to have a show. Couple reasons, y'all. Couple reasons. What's missing? Well, there's a lot to talk about, isn't it? It's a whole heck of a lot. I mean, you got senators having strokes. You got presidents taking long naps. You got vice president. You got senators relinquishing their own health rights to their relatives, but want to still be senators. I mean, come on, bro. It is crazy today. What's up, Tam?
Blessings, Tam.
Oh man, you know what? Let's just
get right into it. I mean,
let's do it.
So, everybody that don't know what we're talking about over recent events, let's just jump right into it. Mitch McConnell had yet another
moment.
Would you call it a moment?
Yeah, because he needed a Snickers, man.
Shut the front door.
He needed a Snickers.
Salute, True. So, this right here poses the question for me. At the end of the day, Mike.
Oh, everybody chiming in right now.
We're
gonna talk about that. We're talking about Mr. McConnell.
So at the end of the day, here's the question that I gotta pose to you. And let's pose it to everybody. How do we get these old officials out of office? I think the answer's on the wall. Yeah, we gotta vote, but at the same time, how do we ensure that we don't have this happen again?
You know what comes to mind? A song. How to get them out of office? It reminds me of this old song by the group.
What song you're talking about?
It reminds me of a group called Belle Biv and DeVoe. And we want to replace the line of that girl is just give them. And if you don't know the song, Poison. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's
That's
interesting. Hold on. That's interesting. We can't, because they keep who they want in there regardless of our votes. I was actually having this discussion with somebody actually earlier today in regards to that just alone. Now, let's get into it like this. Do a lot of people know who their district representatives are? Their district representatives help get elected in regards to certain officials that's in office now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pocket. So
No,
at the end of the day, if we can be able to know who your local officials are, I'm not saying you need to know all the way down to your aldermans and everything else like that, but at least know who your city civil representatives are, like your councilmen, what your districts are and different things of that nature, because if you change that, you might be able to change the landscape of who is in the Senate, who's in the House of Representatives, and different things of that nature.
Well, here's the problem that I have. Everybody's talking about, you can't, they're keeping them regardless of our votes. That means taking out, we got some good things, and taking it off at the head, means taking out the 1%, not just the politicians. All these are great. But here's my problem. You say it's not just the vote. I can tell you right now, before the biggest election we've ever seen in the history of the United States, it showed how many people had never voted before. Did it not?
Hold on 1 second. I want to ask Trulu about this. What do you mean specifically about that, man? Folks been saying that forever, but we ain't really seen no real changes. Yes and no. Good and bad. I mean, at the end of the day, more bad than good. But we can't say that we haven't seen any significant changes. Hell, we're about and this is honestly, in Pocket, I told you this in our meeting the other day. I really think that we are about to see an economic shift happen, and it's going to start in the legislation. It's going to start with certain senators being replaced, certain House of Representatives. We're going to start seeing an economic shift, and I believe that we're going to witness it.
All right. So, all right, I'm going to first say this. I hear everything that everybody's saying. But the most important thing is that nobody's paying really attention to what you just said. Knowing who's in your knowing your district, period. Knowing who to vote for, period. Not knowing that, I mean, that means people aren't educated, right?
He on it today. I love it.
You know what? I'm gonna let y'all two have the floor for a minute while I just sit back. I forgot my popcorn. You know what? Go ahead, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna say he has a point, but you had to make your point after asking the question, right? So, Lulu, you got the floor, man.
Oh, I know he's definitely gonna have something, and I'm interested to see what he has to say, because me and my man, we do have some deep discussions, and I love where this man's mind is, and I love having him on the show. Like, he's very knowledgeable. Okay, he says, I mean, you touched on economics, and that's one of the most one of the things that is most important. But if we're going to talk about economics, let's really talk about the real problem. Okay.
So, okay, now I have the question, and I'm not going to talk him out. What's the real problem?
He says, we got to talk about the central banking system. We have to talk about the IRS. Let's talk about the institutions that are not backed or sanctioned by the Constitution.
So that's the real problem. I guess that's what he's saying. That's the real problem.
I don't know if he's saying that's the real problem or if that's a problem that's a big problem. Excuse me. It's a problem though.
Oh yeah, definitely, it is a problem. But here's what I have to say to all of that: the real problem starts with one thing: the fact that too many people are brainwashed to really believe that they cannot get ahead in society. I say people because everyone has a bone to pick with the government when it comes to that. They want to say the government's keeping me down, right? They want to say the government doesn't provide for those in need. But all of that points back to who? The government, right? So who's the government? It ain't me. It ain't you. It ain't matter who the person is commenting that. And this is right here this is true too. Man, it don't matter the politicians come and talk like they fold the black Pope man, but then they jump right into bed with IRS. They get a kickback and all of that. So that's why I say we've been I think I know what he wants to say, but I'm not going to put the word in his mouth. But I'm going to let him come back with it. I think I know where he's going.
I like Mike's comment. The thing about the districts and all is that it's not going to matter once we give back. If we give back the stuff to the rightful people, and they're going to just redo the system altogether. In that statement, there could be some fact to that. He said we need to have a call number.
That that's something we've considered. We have considered that. What's Mike got to say here? They're keeping you down when you have to go through countless deals through city and have to pay money in order to be able to do your trade. That is considered extortion. Well, yes. I'll give the simple answer to that. Yes. The more complicated answer is
now you're going down a slippery slope because the last time we had this conversation, they shut us down.
Well, at least this time they shut us down. Got to do twice as hard, right? So here we go. Illegal institutions
are not
backed by the Constitution. That's an operation just robbing us of our money.
Absolutely true. Even when you look at the prison system, the prisons are privately owned. The state condemns you, or as I like to say, the state will condemn you and send you to a private institution that's privately funded. And yeah, it's crazy.
But here's one thing. I was hoping you're going to go there. You went halfway where I wanted you to go. It's privately owned. It's funded by the state and the government, right? Government sends you a private owned sentence. How many of those people have egregious sentences? And on the vice versa, how many people that should have egregious sentences don't have them? Because there's been something worked out with that private institution. Now, I was watching the show last night. I've been watching the show a lot lately. What's it called? Help me out. How to Get Away with Murder. It was a wonderful show. I don't know if everybody's watched that. The episode I'm interesting about to talk about, one I watched last night, where one of her students came with an alternate way. Instead of sending people to jail, it was a way of having a communal judgment. Basically, you were able to, the family somebody was murdered out of the family, and they were able to address the murder and vice versa. And he could tell them what he was feeling and stuff like that. It was an accidental murder. It was a kid that they thought who had no friends, came into school. They thought had a gun, and everybody thought he was going to shoot somebody, but he didn't have a gun. He's reached in his bag to pull his cell phone. Well, the teacher shot him. I had a gun and shot him. So makes me think, remember how they were talking about, teachers need to be strapped in schools. That was a gate. And my main point was, I'm going to give somebody a gun that our kids don't even respect. That's a dangerous slip in. And that's a dangerous thing to do. But the government, they were kind of on that. They were on that tip. Like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. No, it's not.
Do you see how fast they shut that down, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
They shut that down with the quickness. So at the end of the
But you know why, though? Because their kids were involved. It was going to hit them. So yeah, it was shut down, but that's only because it was going to affect them in a way, in a serious way. They're like, oh no, we can't do that. But wait a minute, but y'all are all about, everybody should be able to buy a gun, this, that, and other. But here it is when it comes to the point of having one in school, a teacher having one in school. No, we can't do that. That's going a bit too far. Really? So not reforming it, having, as we've said before, having some sort of evaluation, several evaluations before you're able to buy your first gun. That's not good.
Now, talking about evaluations and going back to this Mitch McConnell situation that we first started talking about, you see what their doctors, and I use their very loosely. You see where I'm going? Their doctors, the Capitol staff, basically said that this man is cleared and that there's no signs that he has a seizure or anything like that.
Or he hasn't had a stroke, or he hasn't had a stroke since the first one he had. And he undergoes vigorous testing every 6 to 8 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
and then
at the end of the day, let me say this real quick. At the end of the day, there is an election coming up next year. If I see this man in office again next year, I know that America is just stupid.
Well, according to what just happened last election, that's kind of the word that's running around. So I mean, it is what it is at this point. What I was going to say was I saw something interesting that I don't know how true this is. I only saw this on one news report that Kamala said she may have to step in and finish out this term. And she's ready to do it.
I don't know how much validity that's going to have.
So I was like, okay. So you think you haven't done anything we haven't seen you support anything or say anything this whole time. Now all of a sudden you're telling us you're ready to take over if you have to. No, I'm good.
Now, I want to ask Mike this question. Who are you talking about specifically, Mike?
I wonder if he's talking about Hunter.
I wonder if he's talking about. I wonder. I just wonder. Who are you talking about?
I mean, you could be talking about two people. You got two people you're talking about, Trump or Hunter. Personally, Hunter, I believe there's more time than anybody else than I can think of. As many crimes as he has. And I say Hunter, if y'all don't know.
One thing I will say about Hunter is that with that recent charge that he had, he should have saw some jail time. He should have. Because if that was a person of color, as I like to say, they definitely would have had some jail time in the book thrown at them. But going back to what Mike says, I guess you were right, Pocket. He's talking about Trump.
So you don't want to eat and teach teachers.
So I guess both. Okay. And going to what Trulu said, now
I can decipher this. I got this. Saying you don't want to eat. We don't want to let teachers who don't have respect for the kids either. So you don't want to give a teacher a gun and might not like your kid. So basically what he's saying is you don't want to put a gun
in the teacher's hand and they don't respect your kid. Exactly. Yep. Okay. Yep. That makes sense too. I love where this conversation is going, and that's why we love you guys as fans, because we might start talking about one thing. Yeah, we might go left, but it all ties into the central aspect of what we're talking about. The reality is that we need to see a change happening, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but I do believe that we have the ultimate power to create that change if we stand as a mass, if we stand as a unit.
you know, I'm glad you said that. Didn't you hear about this past weekend? It was one of those September 1st or something. Everyone was not supposed to, bless you. Everybody was not supposed to get gas and not supposed to
Yeah, September 1st. They
shop.
wasn't strike on work and everything else like that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I heard about that.
So
Nobody did it.
exactly. That's what I was getting to. It was talked up all over the place. What people realized, well, if my car is on E, you should have got it the night before if that was the case, if you were going to do it. But there's no way in hell you're going to not have people working. Like, no, that ain't no. That's not a logical way to do things. The logical way to do things is when people got fed up with Bud Light, what did they do? They didn't buy it.
I see the concept. I like the thinking of it. Because if you honestly think about it like this, Pocket. When COVID happened and they shut the city down and nobody could go to work, it hurt our nation's economy. So if everybody stood in solidarity, those that could afford not to go to work that day or whatever case may be, how that would have impacted. So I like the thinking of it, but you're right. You just can't not stop somebody from going to work.
Right. Well, and you can't think people didn't stop and go to work. I was virtual, still am most of the time. So that didn't change anything.
I like where Chulu's going with this because this was actually the point of where I was going with when I was having a conversation with this person that I was talking with earlier today. Is it really the voters that's putting people in office, or is it the money behind these actual politicians that's keeping them in office? And I like where he's going.
So here's what it is. Who's got the deepest pockets? And what state can they manipulate the machine?
I'm glad that you mentioned that because if you think about it, each state's propaganda is different and it's tailored to a different type of market. So, and this is what I was talking about in our meeting about how people, or the lack of knowledge that people have in regards to districts and zones and this thing that's going on with Alabama in the federal government right now in the Supreme Court. Have you heard about that?
Are you talking about the article I sent you about how they want an all-black district?
They're trying to zone it as an all-black district, and the federal government said no. That's
no, not the federal government. Federal government said yes. The state government said no because they haven't provided everything correctly as they were told. That's why I sent you that article. What people are looking at that article of what's going on is, oh, they hate us again. No, they're not. They're telling you to do everything you were supposed to get what you want. They're not doing that. They're just coming in saying, we want this. That's fine. You want it. And they're saying we're not saying you can't have it. You're not doing it the right way. Now, what does that mean is what we're just talking about, educating yourself to do things the right way. If somebody's not going to help you, you got to do it your damn self. You can't depend on people. America wasn't built on depending. America was built on slavery. America was built on who could pimp who. That's pretty much what it was.
Why are you taking my analogy from me, man?
That's all it was. And people don't realize that. They want to tell me they holding us back. No, you're holding yourself back because all you're doing is complaining and not trying to increase your knowledge about something you don't know.
And that's how many people
do you know if they want to know how to make banana bread? They go online, they look up a recipe, they try that recipe. They don't like it, they go to a different. That same person says, I don't know who's the leader in this district. I don't even know when I'm supposed to vote. But you can look up a freaking recipe. Oh, let me guess, you're waiting for CNN and Fox to tell you, hey guys, it's voting time for this year. You know, this is who's up for getting voted for. Oh, I don't know who that is, but who's the incumbent? Who's the, let me now use that word. Who's the person that's been there? I'll just vote for them, get it over with. That's what's happening. People put their focus on the wrong stuff.
But you can't say that that's just happening now. That's been happening for decades.
I'm not
Pocky.
saying it's just happening now. It's a history of things that have happened. People
Exactly.
always wait for somebody to do something for them. Stop waiting. Take initiative. Everybody
And
wants.
that's why we
Oh,
always.
COVID hit. Everybody. Yeah, no, just like when COVID hit, everybody wanted to have their own business, but nobody had the business mind to put it together. Yeah, I'm gonna run my own business. What you gonna do? Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking about. I got a couple things in mind. What?
Until they got that
Get a
PPP
piece of
money.
paper. Get a pen. Start writing your ideas down. Then find somebody that you know that has a business or that works for a really nice company and run it by them. Hey, what do you think about this? If I sound like I'm frustrated, trust me, I am. I am frustrated. I'm tired of hearing people, man, I can't get ahead. You can't get ahead because you're trying, or you can't get ahead because you're sitting there telling me you can't get ahead. You haven't done anything to change.
Well, folks, on that note, we're going to take one quick break real quick. We'll be right back.
Hey, you. Me? Yes, you. Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Hell yeah! GLM Designs can help you with just that. Word? From laptop skins? You lying! Promotional flyers? Yo, son! Promo videos? I need that! OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds. Hey, yo, let me get that! Professional one sheets and so much more.
Oh my god.
Please visit our website,
I'm on it right now.
GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs.
Get it!
Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World.
Follow it!
GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
And we're back, folks. What a heated conversation that we're having right now. I love the narrative of where this is going. Pocket, you're getting too hot there. We need to take a break, man. What's going on?
Well, I had to. I was ready, man. I done seen the video what Twisted Tea can do.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Here we go.
I got mine ready. I'm ready for him. I'm ready. Line them up. Oh, we got to talk about these last two
Yeah.
Wish we could take it back before the colonization, them destroying everything. You ain't lying, man. Pull up the bank records from last election. You'll see which banks was behind which candidate. Then you'll find out that they were actually, some of the banks were secretly funding both. Yeah,
You're not lying. I mean, you're not lying. But at the end of the day, just like that, they still were dumping money into who they wanted to win. Period. Point blank. They were trying to play both sides just so that way they could save face if they didn't get who they really wanted in. But we all know how the money game works. We all know how the money game works. But yeah, Mike's right. I wish we could take it back. So we do have a question here. What's the purpose of a district? Pocky, go ahead and answer that.
Well, the purpose of a district is to make sure that not one particular area has more power than the other. That's why they zone all the rich together, then everybody else has everything. Look at how it's zoned. Like, we can use Phoenix, for instance. Phoenix is a big city. We all know that. But what people don't know is they consider Scottsdale a suburb. They consider Levine its own city. They consider South Mountain, a part of South Phoenix. Excuse me. They don't even call it Phoenix. Call it South Phoenix. But Phoenix is a pretty big city. People don't really realize that. But what they've done, they've zoned it in a way that people in that northeastern section, Scottsdale, have a more, what do we want to say?
Favorable?
Yeah, favorable vote. Can anybody say who the mayor of Scottsdale is? I used to know, actually, but I think he lost or she lost last time.
I don't know. You can't ask me that. I do know who the mayor of Phoenix is.
She's all over the news. Or I'm thinking the governor. Sorry, governor's all over the news right now because she's trying to get her ish together. But trying now, too little, too late. Too little, too late. But folks, all we're saying is, if you can take the time to look up a recipe, take the time to look up a candidate's history.
And if you feel like voting is not working in your favor, stop voting just for the main elections that everybody votes for.
There
What
you go.
I wish everybody would actually do is start focusing more on your local politicians, because if you switch your local politicians, it's going to automatically shift your national politicians.
Now, I do want to. I was going to say I like what you're saying there, but here's what. I understand what Mike's saying. You got to start big. No. You got to start from the opposite way. As they always say in the job market, crap rolls downhill. With politicians, it's the exactly opposite way. You vote for who you want in, starting locally, and it has a trickle upward effect. Guess what? When they start seeing their incumbent not there anymore, they start getting a little uneasy in their chairs, like, oh man, things are changing. I need to change. Too little, too late, my friend. You've had your opportunity. You didn't want to listen. They didn't listen. They're gone. You're next. So that's exactly what it's got to be, a trickle up effect. So, and like you're saying, if you think your vote, I can't even get that out of my mouth. I'm just gonna stick with what I've been saying. Stop acting like you can't educate yourself about your locals. You can. It is really simple. You can. If you want to know more about them, if you want to see where they're getting funded from, guess what? That's public record. You can find that out.
True. And the thing about it, it's funny that you mentioned a couple of things that you mentioned before, because and I think we had touched on this, like from an entertainment aspect of it, people are not even playing the politic game anymore. They're tired of it, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, these politics and policies that's in place is set for a rat race. We're not in a rat race anymore. So why play that game no more? You get what I'm saying? Well, what's the point?
And you're exactly right. They're stuck on that. And also, stop making it a popularity contest. That's the number one issue with a lot of voting. They make it who'd you vote for? Oh, why'd you vote for them? That's not the question. Well, that's the right question, but not in that way. Who did you vote for? What change do you think they're going to make?
You know what's crazy about that too? Is that nowadays, and I see that even with my kids. I don't know if this happened to you when you was in high school, but when they elected your student council, that was based off popularity more than who can do what. And it's happening now. Same thing. It's crazy.
It's been happening. It's never changed. It's been happening. Who's got to flash your campaign? Oh man, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what I'm going to vote for. Who fits your agenda? That's who you vote for. Who speaks best for you? That's who you vote for. Remember, we said before, 2 words that I've used many times on this podcast. You're either a Republican or Dempublican. Don't say you're independent, because independent doesn't do anything. They don't have enough to even stand on their own. Republican or Dempublican, because you're either Republican that has Democratic tendencies or Democrat with Republican tendencies.
You took my word.
So, man, I've been saying that for years. You can ask anybody that knows me. I've been saying those 2 words for years.
You took my word, Pocket. I'm gonna say that, and I'm saying that on live. Now I'm playing.
But yeah, that's what it boils down to. Yeah, there's two parties, but it's not the 2 parties people think it is. My personal opinion, if we wanted a real checks and balances in office, as much as we can possibly say since things don't change, why not go back with the presidential election? Whoever loses is the vice president. You want to see some TMZ crap or World Star? That would be hilarious.
I was saying that too. Like at the end of the day, and I think I was asking a couple of people this questions too. Can there be a Republican or a Democratic president versus a Republican or a Democratic vice president. Everybody's like, no, that's just not possible. Why not?
It used to be. It used to be, and it was working just fine. They kept each other in check. You ran on this. Well, I did. Well, you know what? Since you're not going to do it, I'm gonna. No, wait. Let me. Yeah, that's so saying it won't work. It would work. People just don't want to see it work because they want their whole office in power. Well, what's been happening when the whole of one office has been in power?
That's right there. That comment right there is the whole thing that's keeping this shift of power that's going. It's the money. Period, point blank. But we don't want to harp on too much because we could take this whole show. What we want to talk about too, and we want to fit this in today. And Mike, I'm glad that you're tuning in because this is going to be your personal favorite. Go ahead, Pocket.
You know what, y'all? In case you were not wondering, 2024 Super Bowl 2023 NFL season kicks off tomorrow with the Lions and the Chiefs. Yes, y'all, it's here. It's finally here. Some of you that have baseball teams, I apologize. Y'all suck. I can say that. I can definitely say that. I say that proudly. Your time is now. Your time is now. But we were supposed to do the AFC West, and we realized, wait a minute, we can't even do that one section. So we got to do our whole. We're going to do not division. We're going to do AFC and NFC. We're going to give you our picks that we think are going to win each division, and go from there. Now we can start with the AFC West, and I've been pondering this, rolling around for about 2 minutes. About 2 minutes. AFC West to me is one of the most ridiculous divisions because of the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't. Well, I think they're gonna have a rough time if they don't get Chris Jones in
that division, though. I don't even want to know who your pick is. Who's your sleeper in that division?
Sleeper to take the division and are the Chargers.
My sleeper is going to be the Broncos. I just have a feeling that with this new system, they're definitely going to have a better record than last year.
That's not saying much. I mean,
I know, but it's saying a lot too.
And reason why I picked the Chargers, they have one of the best young quarterback, not named Mahomes, as far as passing records, not named Mahomes.
So you think Justin Herbert deserves that contract?
Oh yeah, he definitely does. Well, I mean, the numbers speak for itself. He has the second most passing yards for a 3-year starter. He's got the second most or third most touchdown passes as a 3-year starter, starting their career. So I mean, I can't dispute that. Can't dispute that.
Okay. So that's your sleeper team. Who you taking?
I gotta take the Chiefs, man. Okay. Here's my problem. Right. Here's my problem with taking the Chiefs. I can see them doing it, but the fact that Kelsey's out tomorrow, the fact that Chris Jones is still out because he wants a contract.
Well, Kelsey's questionable. We're not gonna say that he's out. He's questionable.
He's out. I think I believe that they're saying he's definitely going to be out unless something happens dramatically. He's out. Okay. I mean, and the thing is, it can be one game. And now here's what I still say. Remember what I said yesterday during the meeting? I said this is going to be the highest scoring Thursday night game we're going to see ever.
Even with Kelsey being out. Even with Kelsey being out.
Even with Kelsey being out, you got to remember every time Kelsey's been out, they still won. So that's not a big deciding factor. Mahomes makes everybody look good,
and he has been utilizing all his weapons.
Yep, that's the point. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we both can agree that in the AFC West, we're gonna go ahead and take Kansas City. But let's go on to another division. Let's do the AFC South.
Ooh. Oh, he went there on me. The South.
Neither of these teams are making it to the Super Bowl, but to win.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm definitely not going to say that, and I'll explain why. Jacksonville is a sleeper team.
I'm taking
to take the
Jacksonville to
division.
win the division.
And my backup out of nowhere, well, not really out of nowhere. I like the way they look. Houston, even though they have a rookie quarterback, I like their setup. They got a solid running back. They got a solid defense. I like to say Tennessee, but I don't know. They still got Derrick Henry, but that's about it to me. I don't think D-Hop. I think D-Hop went to the wrong team. I really do.
I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna take my sleeper team is gonna be the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts as a sleeper team, and the one
Even
that
with all that controversy right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts as It's a sleeper team. We're gonna see what they do in the first 4 weeks. We're gonna see what they do in the first 4 weeks. But I'm gonna take the Jaguars to win their division.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Jaguars are a sleeper team, but I didn't say who I would think would win it. No, I did. Houston. I think Houston could win it. I really do. Even with a rookie quarterback, they could do it.
So we did the AFC West. We did the AFC South.
East. We got to go East. AFC East. So I don't think Buffalo's going to repeat. I think Miami's going to take it. And I think the Jets are going to come behind them.
I hate this division because at the end of the day, I think what's killing the Bills right now is Von Miller missing 4 weeks. I think that's going to be very detrimental to the Bills. My sleeper team, I'm going to go with the Jets, bro. I got to go with the Jets as a sleeper team because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do something. But to win the division, it might be Miami, bro.
I mean, they've done enough, I think, this year where they did pretty good last year while Tua was in. And Tua's got a quick release. He's now got a chip on his shoulder. So I'll take it. Now, I didn't say sleeper, but I'm going to say New England as a sleeper team. You never count Belichick out. He always plays tough. His teams play tough. They're retiring Brady's number this year. They got something to prove.
That's your sleeper?
Yeah.
Okay. I can accept that. But I think the Jets, we'll see. We'll see when the Jets play New England in New England. We'll see.
That's going to be a tune your TV.
Yeah.
Hide the children.
So let's go to some of our fan favorites here, the AFC North.
I was actually saving that for completely last, but since you want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, we're completing the AFC, then we'll go over to the NFC.
To me, everyone has said all over is that this could be a division that everybody it's 500 or better.
Yeah.
However, Cleveland's still in that division. Did they forget? They screw it up somehow every year, don't they? So, I mean, it's obvious who I think is going to win the division. I mean, is it not obvious by the shirt? Is it not obvious who I think is going to win the division? Is it not obvious? Now, do I think it's going to be easy? Hell no. I think it's going to come down to the last week of the season, as usual. But I picked Baltimore to win, Cincinnati to get the second, my sleeper to win the division. We don't need to talk about
that. Nah. I know you're going to say it.
We got to block this right here. We got to block this. This is unacceptable. Got to block that. Got to block it. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. No. That is unacceptable.
I have to say it.
That's abuse.
I have to say it. I have to say it. I'm going to take the Steelers as a sleeper. I got to take the Steelers.
I'll let you say it because I can't get the word out of my mouth.
I want the Bengals to win it, but I think the Steelers might just take that division this year. But we'll see. We shall see.
I want to say this about the Steelers. I am impressed with Pickett. Every drive he had in the preseason, he scored a touchdown. Now, that doesn't necessarily relate to the season, but I mean, that's a heck of a start. That shows how a student of a game he is. They talked about, he went back and looked at every completion and interception he made, and he studied that and studied it, worked on it, called the quarterback's coach. So that shows me now he's a very studious person of the game. Now coming back to
wasn't they like a game and a half away from making the playoffs last year?
Yeah, I think so.
So I want to see if Pickett's going to be able to turn that corner this year.
Well, you got to remember, he did it last year when he had the fourth quarter comebacks. He had a few comebacks last year, at the end of last year. So
now I'm tired of people bringing up their preseason. Yes, you had an incredible preseason, but preseason does not count. Pocket, can you let them know? Please let them know.
You know who else had a good preseason? the Raiders.
Shut up.
Where do we pick them? Not in the top 3 of their division, and there's only 4 teams, so figure it out. So, but I mean, you know what? You got to be hype about your team. You got to be hype about your team, not the Steelers, but any other team.
So I think we summed it up for the AFC teams. Let's head to the NFC. Where you want to start at?
Well, we already did the West, so that one's done. Let's go South. Ooh. Sleeper team. I'm going to start that way. Atlanta. We don't know what they got at quarterback.
I'm glad we actually agree on that. I'm glad that we agree on that.
Winning the division, it's the Saints. I don't see why not.
I would agree with you, but I'm going to respectfully disagree with you because I want to see what the Panthers are going to do this year. And I looked at their schedule, and I think they have a winnable schedule.
They have a winnable schedule, but their best player on defense may not be playing for a while.
Yeah, that's true, too.
So that's why. I mean, unless they do like San Francisco, shout out to the Bosa family getting that big contract. Today he got it.
Yeah,
170 million or something. Yeah.
So does that change your standings in the NFC West?
No, I still got San Francisco coming out. That was still San Francisco. I was San Francisco all day coming out of the West. I didn't tell my sleeper team. My sleeper team for the well, actually, we'll get there. We're not done with the South yet. Well, no, we are. Sorry, we are. Like Atlanta, we don't know what they have at quarterback with Ritter. We'll find out. In the first 4 or 5 games, we'll see what he can do. Tampa Bay, they have Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Yeah, they have
Baker Mayfield at quarterback. We'll see how good he is. He's got some talent around him, so we'll see. So now, getting to the West, I'm going to go there real quick. The NFC West, my team to do better than expected, not a sleeper team to make the playoffs or win the division, is the Cardinals. And I'm going to tell you why. I went back on this. I'm going to tell you why they're my sleeper team to do better than expected. They're going to screw this up some way. They're doing too much to get the first pick to not get it. You get what I'm saying? They're doing way too much to get the first pick to not get it.
Now, on to another fan favorite division, the NFC North.
Well, between that and the East. Yeah.
Let's go NFC North real quick.
I'm not being like everybody else. I'm not picking Detroit as the winning division. I'm not saying Minnesota's going to repeat. I'm saying watch out for the Monsters of Midway. Yeah, that's right. I said it, Mike. The Monsters of Midway, I think, have a great chance to win that division. Reason being, their defense has been solid.
I don't like you right now because
their defense has been solid.
You on that.
The Bears built their line. They got Fields, the number 1 receiver. That's all. He already had a solid tight end. So why not?
For me, I'm mad that you said that because I was supposed to debate you on that, and then you're gonna take my debate away from me. I don't like you right now. But this division comes down to 2 teams for me, and it's gonna be the Packers and the Bears. For me, it's a coin toss on who's going to win that division. I can't call it underdog, or I can't call the division. It's going to come down to the Bears and the Packers, and whoever has that better record in that division. I'm just going to call it like I see it.
My thing is, I think the Bears. The Packers. The Packers. We get to see how good Trey Lance is. He looked pretty good in the preseason.
You mean Jordan Love?
I mean, yeah. What did I say?
Trey Lance.
Wow. I don't know why I said that.
Even true.
Oh, I know why I said that. We'll get to that. We'll get there. Oh, man. Lord help us. I can't take this much abuse. I deal with this every year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it anymore. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it anymore. But on a serious note, the Bears did some changes, but Green Bay, that's who I got behind them, getting second in the division and actually getting a wild card spot. I do have them getting that because I believe Trey Lance is real deal. It looks like Green Bay just has a luck of picking quarterbacks. I mean, look at they had Favre, went to Rodgers. Now you have Trey Lance. They have a luck of picking quarterbacks. That's all it is.
Yeah. Now on to another fan favorite, the NFC East. I'm gonna start this one off.
Yeah, I about to say this one you got it. Yeah.
And you're gonna be surprised. I'm gonna go with my sleeper. I'm gonna go with the Commanders as a sleeper team to win that division. I'm picking the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is just on an incline. Like this man, he's on an incline on his game, and he hasn't even reached his peak yet, in my opinion. And he does have some decent weapons around him. Do I think he can win? That they can win the division? Yeah. But my sleeper team, I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with the Commanders, bro. If we're gonna take in consideration of preseason, they look good this year.
I can see that. I give them a sleeper, but I don't think they're going to win it. I think for the first time in a while, we're going to get a repeat, be the Eagles. The only other team that can challenge them to me is the Giants because of what they've done on defense. Getting Simmons from the Cardinals is a big thing because he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do everything. He can blitz, he can cover. And Dean Martin, the Wink, used to be the coach of the defense of the Ravens. He knows how to use people like that, put them in position to maximize their skill. So this could be his breakout party this year. Now, I guess the pick for the playoffs, obvious division winners for me would be Philadelphia, Chicago, New Orleans, and San Francisco. Wild card, that's where it gets kind of murky. Number one seed, I think, is going to be Philadelphia until somebody proves me wrong. They're still the favorites because, I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. Behind them in that division, behind them in the playoffs, I have San Francisco, then New Orleans, and then Chicago. Wild cards being Green Bay and Giants. Green Bay, Giants. It's supposed to be three of them, right? Green Bay, Giants, and I think Seattle could. It's going to be a close one, though. You know what? No. Green Bay, Giants. And I'm going to pick another from the East. The Skins. I'll pick the Skins. Or Commanders, depending if they change their name back. Going all the way, I don't know. Going all the way, I don't know. I think it's going to be San Francisco. I think it's going to be a repeat of last year, San Francisco and Philadelphia in the NFC Championship, and San Francisco will win it this time.
We'll see. You got some good picks, but we'll see what happens. Crucial for any team, we gonna see what happens. We gonna see what happens.
And that's the thing. The best thing about the NFL season, it is unpredictable because no matter who you think is a favorite, it's never really
We might
a favorite.
even know what happens after the week.
You cutting up there. Uh-oh, did we lose him? We didn't hear anything you said. Or I didn't hear anything you said. Did anybody else hear him?
I'm here.
Now, you were saying, what did you say about I know what I'm just looking forward to tomorrow night kickoff, and we'll see who's going to do what.
Yeah,
Will the Chiefs come out and run all over them, or will the Lions match them blow for blow? I think they're going to match them blow for blow, at least for a little while. I don't think it'll be the
Lions defense is going to do this.
But you know what? I don't think it's going to be. Remember that Thursday night game? It was the Chiefs and the Rams, and it was like 52-49 or something like that. I don't think we're going to see anything like that because there's no Aaron Donald out there on the Lions. Well, I guess we'll find out if Aiden Hutchinson is the real deal. I think he's pretty good, but nobody's Aaron Donald. I'm going to just put that out there. But I think it's going to be a nice matchup. I really do. I'm just excited to have football back. I don't know about y'all. It's about time.
Yes, I'm happy and excited myself. Well, folks, it's been another episode. Next week, I will be in studio. So you're going to have the both of us together on one screen again. How you feel about that?
We didn't hear anything you just said other than you're going to be in studio.
Well, folks, until next week, love you. What's the word of the week, Pocky?
Bricks.
Oh, we're going to talk about that next week. We got to talk about that next week. Pocky. Don't do me like that. We got to talk about it next week.
She's a brick. Ow.